How y'all doing out there? Chuck G checking in here for Speak Your Mind. I know it's a little delayed. I know it's a little late. I started doing them week by week. Was able to do them 2 weeks in a row, and then I got here and I haven't had a good data stream. Anyway, so I'm doing this on In the Man Cave's YouTube channel. As you'll see when I upload on Facebook, we do have one, trying to get it going. Now I usually do this live, but as I said, data stream's been kind of weak, so maybe pre-recorded will be a little better. Let's get into it. Alright, two coaches I want to compare. The two coaches I want to compare are going to be opposites this week. Usually they're on the same track. Number one, Mark Richt at Miami. That seems to be a good fit. I mean, they won 9 or 10 games. I think they were 10-3. Maybe they were 9-4. Maybe they were 10-2. Anyway, but Miami hasn't won that many games in a while, so it's a fresh breath of life for them. Mark Richt and them have been really receptive to each other, so that's good for both of them. And I think it's good for the overall Miami program because it gets them back to a certain caliber that they were used to a while back, that they've been wanting to get back to for a while, and I think they're finally starting to get back there. But that being said, you know, Mark Richt, of course, is bringing the recruiting up. And he's always been a good recruiter. I never knocked him on that. I've always said I thought he would be more successful as an ACC coach than an SEC coach. That's just always been my personal opinion. But now, looking forward, they're going to have to be able to beat Clemson moving forward. Because, let's be honest, Clemson is going to be the big dog for a while. They made it to one college football playoff championship, played Alabama, didn't beat them. The next year they beat Alabama in the college football playoff. And this year they made it even though they got shut out. Boy, they got beat first round. So, that being said, Mark Richt is going to have to hype the recruiting up a little bit better. He may have to bring in some better assistants. Overall, though, I think it's good for the program of Miami. It gets them where they've longed to be for a long time. And I think it's good for Mark. So I think that's a win-win. Okay, I said it was opposite week on this, right? Okay. So, without further ado, let's talk about somebody who's probably not a positive for the school. And the school's probably not a, positive for him. Ed Ogeron. Come on down, buddy. Listen. I know you were at Ole Miss and you couldn't get a lot done because it was hard to recruit there, as you said, many a times, from what I've heard. So, now you're at LSU. You had 2 years of Les Miles players, basically, to make you look really good, and I think they made you look like a better coach than you are. This is a year where I think people find out really just how mediocre you are. And where LSU wants to be is not on track with what you are or can be as a coach. I just don't see where this works out where he is the long-term coach at LSU. I don't see it. I mean, you've got a lot of coaches that would love to go to LSU. Basically, they put in Ed Ogeron there after this thing came out about, Jimbo Fisher was supposedly under a verbal agreement to them for $15 million in so many years or whatever. Well, they fire Les Miles. Next thing you know, Jimbo Fisher rolls out the back door. What do? They promote Ed Ogeron to try to cover it up, and then they just feel, well, we'll sit on it for a while and not get a new head coach. And now we're going into, I think, year 3 with him. And You know, maybe this is the year where it's put up for shut up for him, or maybe they decided, oh no, we're going to keep him as head coach for about 4 years so nobody thinks when we said that, oh yeah, no, the Jimbo Fisher stuff was a lie. It was all spam and it was all lying stuff. That we were going to promote Orgeron because of his Ole Miss experience to head coach of LSU to begin with. And if you keep him around for 4 years, maybe people believe that. But listen, Chuck G ain't believing it. Chuck G called you out before anybody else knew about it. Because I did what I did. I was like MacGyver over here. I was Detective 101. Because into the man cave, Chuck G don't play that, homeboy. We know y'all tried to get Jimbo Fisher, and then when it didn't work and Les was gone, y'all said, oh no, we're promoting Orgeron as interim head coach. And that was our plan, was to make him head coach. No, it wasn't. So, this whole fiasco has made LSU look stupid. You're proving Ed Orgeron ain't meant to be a top flight Power 5 coach, or even mediocre, because he didn't do so well at Ole Miss. Now, Ed Orgeron, I'm going to keep real with you, buddy. You got 2 chances to be a head coach and get it right. So, if you don't get it right this time, you need to go be a defensive coordinator or whatever you used to do before you started trying to be a head coach, okay? I think you was a defensive coordinator. Anyway, but, you know, so I think that's a loss for both schools, and I think the longer it goes on, it just makes LSU look very questionable. I mean, it's a win for Ed Orgeron, the fact that he gets to coach again, but I don't see it as a good fit for him as far as like him being long-termly successful as the coach as far as the overall long-term success of Ed Orgeron to LSU. I don't see it as a good thing. I don't think it's going to work out well for him or them. You know, and the longer they wait, the worse LSU is going to make it, because, you know, LSU, I mean, Ed Orgeron is a people person. People like the guy. So the longer you keep him around, the harder it's going to be to cut ties. Just a fact. But I feel like that's the lose-lose in this situation. You know? All right, that's part 1 for Speak Your Mind. I'm going to try to upload part 2 here in a minute. Let's see how well this goes.